Hello. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Danny, and this is the Common Rule Podcast. So how you been? I think I took a little longer than usual between episodes here, but I told you it'd be this way. It'd be sporadic. I don't have a schedule or anything like that. Normally I try to keep it somewhat organized, but man, I've just been kind of busy here. And yes, I'm going to bug you about I've been working on the art show. Art show coming in March, first Friday. It's going to be hosted by our sponsor, Phoenix Film Revival, Darkroom Lab and Photo Studio out here in Phoenix. Links will be in the comments, or in the description, excuse me. And the Instagram is at PHX Film Revival. Pretty easy to find. I think right now that's still the best way to contact them and such. But yeah, that's our sponsor as well. And this one's brought to you by the letter B and the number 14. Let's talk about this one's probably short and sweet. But I want to talk about Bruce Lee. What you know about Bruce Lee? What can we learn from Bruce Lee that can be applied to our creative process? Well, actually, quite a bit. Being a fan of Bruce Lee and reading a book of his, and watching many, obviously all his movies. Well, there's only like 4, but watching them all multiple times, and then watching some documentaries. Man, Bruce Lee was something else, He wasn't just about a martial arts. He had a whole philosophical way, which is, he did create that to directly describe his martial arts, but it turns out that those things are universal. And wait, hold on. Quick joke. What does Bruce Lee drink? What's-a? Yeah, that's a good one. I love it. What I wanted to talk about here is how his martial arts, or what his philosophy is in certain cases, how that applies to our creative process. Now, art doesn't just come from misery and a desolate emotional place. It doesn't just come from anger. It doesn't just come from being sad. You have to have emotional content, not just anger. Okay, this is coming from a guy who loves blues and blues music. But even in blues music, it's not all about sadness, and it's not all about being left alone. And there's a lot of Son House talks about how sometimes you should be able to drink or sing blues music at church. It's supposed to be uplifting. One of my favorite blues songs is by Jimi Hendrix, called Red House. And, at the end of that song, you're left with hope and happiness. On that one, take a listen to that one if you don't know what I mean here. But us as humans, we have an array of emotions, of course, And, this might be sound a little obvious, but, there was this cat talking about on the YouTubes, talking about how the best art only comes from anger, from mean places, from this... just bad emotional places. And I'm like, man, that is just so not true. And again, going back to Jimi Hendrix, he has a song about it, Axe as Bold as Love. The closest song on that album by the same name is exactly that. We talk about humans have an array of emotions that we use to not just live, but create. To limit yourself to just anger, man, fuck that. There are great examples of happy and sad, satisfied and betrayed emotions in music, literature, food, and of course art. Now, what's funny thing is, like, food is another way to create, cooking is another way to create and have a process as well, of course. And there's a couple superstitions that apply here that I've heard. One is when you make tamales, you're supposed to only make them when you are in a good mood, otherwise the tamales will come out bad. If you make tamales when you're sad or lonely or mean, you're going to have bad tamales. And I think I've heard that same with soul food. Like, you got to cook your collards only when you're smiling, or otherwise your food will turn out bad. So yeah, maybe some of your favorite art is scary and evil and comes from a bad spot. I get that. But you know what? You still need your whole array of emotions to create, to get you, to funnel you to a good creative spot. Concentrating on one emotion is no good. No, no, no. It's like a finger that points to the moon. Focus on the finger and you will miss all the heavenly glory. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. And yeah, this one was just short and sweet. I needed to just get this one off my chest here. But just make sure people don't listen to idiots telling you that you must only use one or do things one way. You know, you can do it whatever way you want. Find your niche, find your avenue, and enjoy your youth.